All right, future CMAs, welcome. Let's jump right into a topic that the exam absolutely loves to test: strategy. We're going to break down what truly separates a strategy that wins from one that, well, completely falls apart. And look, this isn't just some abstract theory. This is the practical DNA of successful planning. And I promise, by the end of this, you're going to know how to spot it every single time.
So let's kick things off by just demolishing a huge misconception. So many companies and so many test takers think about strategic planning as a single event. Like a yearly retreat or a plan is carved into stone and that's it for the next 12 months. I'm telling you right now, for your CMA exam, that way of thinking is a massive red flag. It is the very first sign that a strategy is probably doomed to fail. You see, a winning strategy is not a static map that you print out once. The world changes, right? Your competitors change, the market changes, so your plan has to change with it. The best way to think about it is like a live GPS. It is constantly recalculating, constantly taking in new data to find the best route. This dynamic mindset is what a successful organization has. So, what are the key pieces that power the strategic GPS? Let's get into it.
First up, and I can't stress this enough, it's the people. You could literally have the most brilliant, data-driven, mathematically perfect plan in the world, but if the people in the organization are behind it, it's just a fancy piece of paper. It's worthless. And that support has to start at the very top.
This quote right here, this is basically the golden rule of strategy. It absolutely must have unwavering support from top management. If the executives, the C-suite, aren't actively championing the plan, talking about it all the time, and actually dedicating real resources to it, it has exactly zero chance of success. It really is that black and white. Okay, listen up, because this is a huge exam tip. I really want you to burn this into your brain. When you get a scenario question on the exam, and it describes a really great plan that somehow failed, you need to immediately scan the answer choices for lack of management commitment. It is the single most common reason for strategic failure, and 9 times out of 10, it's the right answer. Because remember, real support isn't just a thumbs up in a meeting. It's putting your money, your time, and your best people where your mouth is. So how does management actually build that support? Well, it's not a one-way street. Think of it like this. The senior leaders, they set the destination. That's the top-down vision. But they have to rely on their functional managers, people just like you, for the reality check, the boots-on-the-ground insights. This two-way conversation is absolutely crucial because it creates the single most important ingredient for actually getting things done: genuine buy-in. And this really all boils down to a very simple human truth. Participation creates ownership. When your team feels like they had a hand in building the plan, they're so much more motivated to see it succeed. If they don't get the why behind it, or if it was just handed down to them from on high, it's just another corporate task. A secret strategy, one that's kept in the boardroom, is a useless strategy, period. Okay, so we've got the people on board. That's the fuel. Now let's talk about the plan itself, the nuts and bolts. And at its heart, a healthy plan is really a critical balancing act. A great strategic process forces an organization to essentially look in 2 different directions at the exact same time. You have to balance the urgent, immediate needs of today's operations, keeping the lights on, with the super important investments you need to make for tomorrow's growth. You neglect one for the other, it's an absolute recipe for disaster. And doing this helps you avoid what some people call the creeping determinism trap. That's just a fancy way of saying you're only focused on hitting next month's numbers and you lose sight of the bigger picture. A really solid plan has a long-term horizon, 3 to 5 years out, but it isn't rigid. It's built to be flexible. It allows for those critical mid-course corrections when the world, inevitably throws you a curveball. So what is this long-term flexible plan built on? What's the foundation? The answer is simple: hard facts, data. It is not built on gut feelings. It is not built on, well, this is the way we've always done it. A successful strategy is built on a bedrock of objective, verifiable data. And this is where you, as a management accountant, become absolutely central to the whole process. Your role is to be the voice of reason. You're the one who provides the market trends, the real cost structures, the unbiased ROI projections that stop the strategy from becoming a daydream. You are the one who keeps the entire plan grounded in reality. So let's tie this all together, okay? I want to give you a practical checklist that you can actually use when you're sitting for the exam. When they throw a strategy scenario at you, I want you to run it through this framework. Think of a successful strategy like a high-performance car. Top management support, that's the fuel. No fuel, you're going nowhere. Broad participation, that's the engine. Communication is the steering wheel. Flexibility is the suspension that handles the bumps in the road. And the data, that's your dashboard, telling you how fast you're going. When you're reading an essay question, use this as a diagnostic tool. Ask yourself, okay, what's missing here? Is the CEO not providing the fuel? Is the engine of participation busted? Are they ignoring the dashboard? Figure out which part is broken. You see, when you understand this framework, it completely elevates your role. You're no longer just a number cruncher who reports on what already happened. No, you are a strategy architect, using data to help build the future of the entire organization. And I'll leave you with one final thought to take with you into your studies. Of those 5 pillars we just talked about, when a strategy starts to fail, which one do you think is almost always the very first one to crumble? Really think about that because it will help you instantly spot the root cause of problems in your exam questions. Okay, good luck with your preparation. You've got this.